Hello, fourth grade. We're going to pick up where we left off last time. Before you were working on the regions of the mountains and the valleys in California. Today we're going to be working on the coastal region. So we're going to be following the same steps that we did before. We're going to read through the passages and complete the questions here and fill in our table to help us organize our information about what we read in this section before we move on to the desert region. Now, I did also add several helpful videos for you in Google Classroom to give you more information about the different regions of California, as well as information on how to do your project. So let's go ahead and get started with this section. Coasts in California. Coasts are located where the ocean meets the land. California coasts can be rocky or sandy. There are 840 miles of beaches and cliffs along the California coast. There are mountains in the coastal region. California is bordered by the Pacific Ocean, which is the biggest ocean on Earth. So the coastal region is this side right here that runs all the way along the edge, which is where California is touching the water. So this is the edge of California that meets with the Pacific Ocean. California's northern coastal region is rocky with high hills and narrow shores. The southern coast has rolling hills and long sandy beaches. There are also islands off the southern coast. So over here is where they're talking about it being more rocky, and down here is where we've got the sandy beaches, which we know because we live out here in San Diego. We do have some islands right off the coast of Southern California. If any of you have been out to Catalina Island, that's very close by. And that's one of the islands that you'll find right off the coast. Now let's talk about the climate. The southern and northern coastal regions are very different. California's southern coast has mild weather all year with very dry summers. It rains every other season and snow is very rare. And this is again something we know from living in Southern California is that we don't get much rain at all. It's pretty dry out here most of the year. And that's one of the reasons that we have things like fires pretty often is because there's not enough precipitation. The northern coast is cool and wet, perfect for the thick forests that grow here. It can get foggy from time to time. It's also more mountainous and rocky. So while we have warmer temperatures pretty much year round, Northern California gets colder temperatures. They do get a lot more precipitation, so rainfall. If you're up in the mountains, you'll get snow, which is something we don't have very much of here in Southern California. Natural resources and industry. More than half of California's population lives in the coastal region. Large cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego are in the coastal region. Tourism is the largest industry with 350 miles of popular beaches. There are also dozens of state parks and wineries. This area is also known for its incredible shopping experiences. Many crops grow in the coastal valleys. Giant redwood trees grow along the northeastern coast. A number of animal species live here, including dolphins, sea lions, sea otters, gray whales, sharks, puma, and bobcats. Over 80 species of wildflowers grow here. So as far as the industry, we know that being by the beach means there's a lot of tourists that come out. So tourism is a huge industry in Southern California or in California as a whole. The state parks and the forests are also part of California's industry. And also they have the shopping experiences. As far as the vegetation, the natural resources, we do have a lot of redwoods. We do have a lot of varying animal species since we're by the ocean. And we do have a good number of land animals as well. Land use. how is the land used here? What is the population like? So when we're talking specifically about the coastal region, we can take a look along the edge here and we can see that up in the northern parts, there's a lot of forestry up in the northern part of California. As we move down, there's a lot of sorry, large cities over here right along the coast. You'll see those couple spots of red, especially Southern California. There's a lot more. And when we're looking at the population, you'll see based on the population map over here that the dark blue has the highest population down to white, which has almost nobody living there. And along the coast, you've got a lot of darker greens and blues. So that tells you that the population along the coast is high. It has over 250 people per square mile. Now, once you get down to the review section, you're going to talk a little bit about the climate, so you can go back up to the top and write about what the climate is like as far as Northern California and Southern California along the coast, the land geography again in the north and the south, and the economy and resources. After you've completed that, we're going to move into the desert region, which runs along mainly the southeastern coast of our state. This right here is going to be our desert region. Deserts are, of course, very hot and dry, or they're very, very cold, especially at night, and receive less than 10 inches of rain during the entire year. The California desert region has 3 main deserts in it, which are the Great Basin, the Colorado, and the Mojave Desert. So the Great Basin Desert is a cold desert in Western California, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, and Oregon, and it's the largest desert in the United States. So this desert spans several states. The Colorado Desert is in the southwestern corner and continues to Arizona and Mexico. There are low mountains here, and in the Mojave, that's California's largest desert, and it's near the border of Arizona and Nevada. Death Valley is located here, and it's very hot and very sparsely populated, which means there's very, very few people that live out there because of the extreme climate and temperatures. Now, for the climate, all deserts have one thing in common, is that they get very, very little rain. The Great Basin is a cold desert. The summers are hot and dry, and the winters are cold and snowy. The Colorado Desert is hot all year with 2 light rainy seasons in the late summer and winter, but the mountains block most of that rain. And the Mojave Desert has cool to cold winters and hot summers. And the Mojave, again, is where we find Death Valley. So you've got a picture right here to show you that there's really not any vegetation. There's very little plant or animal life that you're going to find here because of such limited resources and such limited water. Now, natural resources and industry. Plants like the Joshua tree, cacti, and the yucca tree grow here. Animals like the bighorn sheep, the coyote, and the jackrabbit also make the desert their home. Tourism is an important industry in the desert region. Over 3 million people visit Joshua Tree and Death Valley National Parks. Renewable energy from windmills is created in the Colorado Desert because of the strong desert winds. A number of minerals can also be found in the region, including borax in the Mojave and gold in the Great Basin. So again, we're going to go back to our maps and we're going to take a look at what the land use is like out here specifically in the desert region. So our desert region, which is going to be this area right here, is mostly desert. It doesn't get very much use. We do have a couple national parks there that people go to visit. So there is that as far as the economy, industry, and tourism. And with regard to the population, we can see that this area has maybe 50 to 99 people per square mile. So it's not a heavily populated area at all. It goes from this yellow region down to this kind of gray-blue area. And once you go into the review, we're going to talk about the climate in the 3 different deserts that are in our desert region. the land geography in those 3 deserts and the economy and resources it's also found in our desert region. Now this will take you up to page 34, which is going to be the work that you have to do for this booklet that we're making about the different regions of California. Then I want you to get started on your salt dough relief map. Now I did add in a video in that section in Google Classroom that says useful videos and links that shows you how to make a salt dough map. And it gives you an example of someone who's actively doing it in the video. It also gives you tips and tricks on how to paint it if you're going to paint it. It would be easier for you to mix in the color before you start assembling your map, but it's up to you which one you choose. As long as your map is neat and organized and it follows the main directions, that's fine. So over here, it gives you the ingredients and the steps for making it. You're going to need a piece of cardboard to put down your map or trace your map so that you're able to use it. There is also a printout of the map right here that you can either print out or you can trace or draw on the cardboard. Please try and make it as neat as possible if you're going to draw it or get some help with the drawing before you start using it to help you lay down the dough. So over here, it's going to tell you exactly what to do, what colors you're going to make your map key. They've already given you a compass rose that you can add onto your map or you can draw on yourself where you're going to put your cardinal directions and then your intermediate directions you're going to fill in as well. Now, once you've completed that, I did add in the rubric, which is basically what I'm going to use to score your projects when you're done. So there's a section from 0 to 4 points for each one of these. You will also have to do a small writing piece or a small paragraph about each one of the regions that tells about the climate, natural resources, industry, any other interesting facts you want to put in there. You want a paragraph for each one. So your paragraph is going to be about 5 sentences at least for each section. Once you've completed that, you're going to take pictures of your project and you're going to send in or upload your paragraphs, and then I'll be able to score your project for you. So that's it for this section. Once you've completed that, let me know. I'm really excited to see all of your maps, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun making them. Have a great day. Take care, 4th grade. Bye-bye.